Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have this phono with Dr. Magdy Allam, Secretary General of the Union of Arab Environmental Experts. Good afternoon, sir.
How are you? I'm fine, thank you.
Well, Dr. Allam, the green economy has become a necessity to face the climate change. So give us an idea about the importance of the green economy.
Hello?
Hello, doctor. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Would you like that I repeat the question?
Yes, please.
Okay. The green economy has become a very important necessity to face the climate change. Could you speak to us about the importance of the green economy?
Of course, the green economy is the only way to apply the climate change resilience and adaptation in the field, actually. And the session and meeting of Her Excellency Dr. Rani Al-Mashad is actually one of the main steps of the sharing of the Egyptian leaders in one of the most important forums, the 10th forum of the OECD. Because actually we are all, the developing countries especially, are looking for green funds and actually more investment and finance, either as loans or grants or other bilateral participation and cooperation in assuring the allocated funds by different sources. Of course, we are relying on the industrial countries to share and support because they actually making the problem of the climate change as a serious climatic crisis. So nowadays we cannot actually, as a developing countries, rely on our sources and our local income because it cannot at all supporting the transfer of the new technology as the solar energy and the biomass and biogas and wind energy and all the kinds of the green energy. Actually, the mechanism of increasing the adaptation fund is very essential in the African and actually the other continents, especially the south continent of Brazil and other countries in Argentina also. So Dr. Rani Al-Mashad actually did represent Egypt in those sessions actually to assure the looking for mitigation mechanisms and the capabilities to sustain and incentive for partners to share with the government. The government cannot only share the responsibility of such sustainable development financial mechanism, but actually must have a share of the private sector.
Yes.
So the triangle of private sector, government, and science and technical and technology also, this is a triangle that applies the most important triangle, which is the nexus. The nexus is depending on the energy, food, and water. Without those sources, this triangle, we cannot sustain our economy, either it is green economy or another kind of economy, maybe it's black or something, or brown.
Yes.
Still, the pollutant is still actually more increasing, and the climate change has a main negative impact on the climate change and worsening this phenomena, which actually making a more dryness of deserts and the desertification, actually more dearth of vegetation, and actually we did lose up to 1/3 of the total green areas all over the continent, actually, which is the main negative impact of what's called the wrong policy or the wrong mechanisms, which we can call it as black mechanisms. They cannot at all produce a green economy because they are actually having more petroleum, more coal, more what's called the black mechanisms. We are looking for solar energy, wind energy, biogas energy, or the clean energy that we are looking for our energy instead of the old fashions of such kinds of generation.
Yes, Dr. Allam, what are the steps that Egypt have taken in the direction of the green economy, the steps that Egypt has taken before, and what are the steps that Egypt should take in the future?
Actually, Egypt among the first group of countries that respond for the every year conference of the climate change agreement, because you know that the climate change agreement or the COP27 being implemented in Egypt, and Egypt actually has the most high number of attendants and members, including the high level of presidents and kings attending the Egyptian event of Sharm el-Sheikh to receive the COP27, which is actually a turning point in all the COPs, even for next COP in Emirates, in the 28th COP
COP28, yes.
Yes, 28, will continue the start of the good approach and the green approach of transferring from the black and brown economy to green economy will continue in Emirates. As far as I know, and I did actually participate in the sessions of Emirates, that there is already some alternatives to shift from the old-fashioned energy, which is actually the coal and petrol, to the new energy, starting with the solar and including also the wind and all the kinds of the biomass and biogas. All the green technologies will replace what's called the black technologies.
Yes, Doctor, what are the most important joint cooperation between Egypt and the international partners in preserving environment?
Actually, Egypt has did sign actually the main agreements, either the very important one, the biodiversity agreement, which is actually looking for preservation and protection of all endangered species, as we did lose up to 28% of the total habitat all over the continent. And actually, Egypt is seriously participated in all of the initiatives to increase the green areas, as the initiative of President Sisi and the reps of the Saudi Kingdom to have the green area all over the Middle East, not only the Arab countries, but all over the Middle East, up to 2 billion green trees will be implemented in this, and Egypt started to allocate money for 100 million trees to be cultivated as promised by President Sisi, and this will shift actually what's called the pollution of the cities. No way that we can get rid of the pollution, of the air pollution among the cities and the capitals of the governorates in Egypt without the green trees. Yes. So nowadays, as far as the last statement of His Excellency, the Minister of Local Administration did declare that they already cultivate up to 38% of the total 100 million trees to be cultivated by the 27 governorates in Egypt.
Yes, Doctor, concerning the COP27 or the COP28, which is going to take place in United Arab Emirates, how does such meetings and conferences would contribute to the transition of preserving a government, preserving environment from the words into, turns the words into action in the field of environmental preservation?
Every country, even Egypt, already declared their policy and statement and programs. And Egypt actually declared in all the media all over the world our policy of the green economy. Nowadays, Egypt has serious programs to get rid or gradually get rid of the traditional fossil fuel into the green energy. And if you are looking for the Gulf of Suez, for example, we have the greatest energy, clean energy done by the wind energy. Anyone go to the Suez Gulf can see easily up to 150 kilometers already covered by a big list of wind energy, which is actually maybe one of the most all over the world to have such kind and area and number of wind energy. But also we have also the most all over the world in Aswan, the most actually wind energy being done in Aswan, which is actually the second achievement of the Egyptian government to reach for the green economy. Those examples are parallel also to the transform of all the industrial pollutants in Helwan and Shobra al-Khema nowadays, as you see, and all of us know nowadays, that completely transferred from those cities, either from Helwan or Shobra al-Khema. Nowadays, we are transferring our industry out of the cities in the desert itself. So there are a big list of activities being done by the Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Local Administration, even the Ministry of Irrigation. Nowadays, for the 26 kilometers, thousand all over the network of the Nile River and its tributaries, and also in Delta region, there is a conservation program to keep actually no water loss, but increasing the water saving. And nowadays also you can see easily the $750 million being implemented by Egypt to reserve the coastal zone among the Rosetta branch and also the other branch of the Delta in Egypt, because nowadays, as you see all over the world, there is a high wind and there is also high wave. Very strongly, actually, they can push the loss of those sand out of the beach itself to go out in water. Nowadays, the Egyptian government allocate and did also implement the $750 million to save the Delta regions from the negative impact of the climate change because of actually and unfortunately because of the twin industrial countries that pollute our climate, and they don't share with us how to reduce the impact of the climate change.
Yes, I thank you very much for explaining to us. Thank you for your valuable information. I really had the pleasure to have this phone with you. Thank you, Dr. Magdy Allam, Secretary General of the Union of Arab Environmental Experts. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break and I'm going to be back with you.